So Peter Boghossian went to UC Berkeley for his reverse Q&A series, and he brought a sign with him that said, "America is racist." And he allows students to hop on a scale from strongly agree to strongly disagree. You guys, there's a handful of scenes in this video that we absolutely have to unpack. Before we jump into this, though, welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you all for being here. If you could please really quickly hit that like button for the algorithm, I would greatly appreciate it. And then lastly, this video is sponsored by my good friends over at Deal Dash. Huge shout out to them. We'll talk about them a little bit more in a bit. So the video is called "America is Racist," reverse Q&A at UC Berkeley. Some of the clips are a little bit longer. I'm going to let them run a bit. And then also, as always, the video link to the full video will be down in the description below. Let's go ahead and hop on in.
3, 2, 1, 0.
Oof.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about that. Why did you stand on strongly agree?
Because it's an institutional, historical process that hasn't changed till today. Racism, I mean, and we still live it.
Okay. So if you were to bracket the historical, so there is like the present tense, like right now, America is racist.
Yes.
Okay. Why did you stand on strongly agree?
100% what he said. It's practically in our history. There's nothing that we can change to do it. There's no reform that's going to fix it. America is racist. It's practically built on racism, and I don't think anything could change it. We should just abolish like everything and
Abolish what? This is
Wow.
no. This is a different.
not abolish, but like completely like reform the Constitution. I think like completely rewrite the entire thing.
So abolish it. So this girl right here is agreeing with him. He's saying just abolish the Constitution. You guys, this is UC Berkeley, so maybe some of us aren't that surprised, right? But this is also not an uncommon position from college students around the United States. This is, that's scary stuff.
You strongly agree that America is racist.
Yeah, one of the main things I pulled up the national anthem because one of the main things that America's trying to hide is the national anthem and its racist lyrics.
Sure.
Like,
Can you read them to us?
yeah, no refuge could save the hireling and slave. It's practically built on racism. America is racist. That's nothing.
Okay.
So America's built on racism. The national anthem is racist. Well, bad news for you, bud. What he's referring to right there, and a lot of folks on the left have tried to push this, but it's a complete lie. When it comes to the line, let's see, it's removed from the national anthem, so I sometimes forget it. No refuge could save the hireling and slave. It's actually more of a jab against the British, okay? It's referring to the British capturing American sailors, making them fight for the British. That's what it's referring to. They actually removed that line in the early 1930s, probably because the relationship between Americans and British was a lot better at that point. But what he's saying is just completely made up. That's not even true. He had his big moment to say why America's racist, why it's systemically racist, why it's historically racist, which, yeah, I mean, I think most of us could agree that racism was bad back then, sure. But that was his example, and it's not even true.
And you agree with the claim that America is racist?
Yes, I do.
And how come you're not in the slightly agree or the strongly agree category?
I was debating on whether or not I should be in strongly agree or agree, but when we look at the statement, America is racist, America in itself is a country, but you have to think of like what exactly the country is like comprised of that makes it racist. And I would say like the government, policies, it's people, certain actions that people commit, such as like hate crimes or, the exact opposite of that, uplifting people who have been marginalized.
Okay, so she's differing a little bit here because she's saying there are people in the United States that are racist. She's including that part. I guess like there's, with all the other countries that she probably likes, there's just no racist people. I guess that's the argument that's being made there. But that's kind of where she's differing. She did also mention it's systemically racist. The system is actually racist, plus we have racist people. I don't see a major reason why she should be one step less extreme than these other guys, because that seems, if anything, close to as extreme. All right, you guys, let's take a few moments to talk about today's sponsor, Deal Dash. Now, I know many of you are already bidding on Deal Dash, but for those of you who don't know, Deal Dash is an auction website that many people either seem to love or hate. If you've seen their ads on TV at any point during the last 15 years, you'll know that they have thousands of auctions every day with brand new items. Right here's just a handful of items that are up for auction today. We have a Sony ZVE1, which actually I'm using a ZVE10 right now. It's Nintendo Switch. It's not uncommon to see iPads selling for 10 to 15 bucks on this website. I'll show you guys something as an example. We have an iPhone 15. This sold for $57.07. That is ridiculous. So you're probably wondering, okay, what's the catch? Because this just seems absurd. Well, you have to pay for the right to bid. I'll explain. Right here, they'll ask you to buy 220 bids for $30, which means you can bid 220 times in any of their auctions. Now, every auction starts at $0 with no minimum reserve price, and every time you bid, you can at most raise the price by a penny. After you bid, the auction timer counts down by 10 seconds, and if nobody bids in the next 10 seconds, you win the auction. So Deal Dash hooked me up with some bids. Let's go ahead and find some items to bid on. So right here we have a stainless steel casserole pot. We need that. I'm gonna go ahead and hit bid right here. So I'm the highest bidder up at the top. All right here we have a DJI Mini 3 Pro drone. We're gonna go ahead and hit bid. And I'm in the lead. Top one, zombie. Oh gosh, no, bid. That's right, we're in the lead. So you guys check out dealdash.com. When you sign up, use my offer code KLUG100 and you'll get 100 free bids on your first bid pack purchase. And if you don't win an auction using these bids, or you just don't like it for any reason, contact DealDash and they'll give you your money back, no questions asked, so the downsides are pretty limited. It's worth a shot. You guys do me a favor and check out dealdash.com/KLUG100. Take advantage of this deal. I'll put a link down in the description below. Let's get back on this video. All right, so far we have basically similar arguments being made. These are pretty much all talking points. They're not really giving specifics. One tried to give specifics with the national anthem. That was obviously a fail, but you have pretty generic talking points that are very common for far left college students. Let's see what else they have to say.
Although, like, America is clearly racist, there have been a lot of people and a lot of people who try to actively work against that. So I feel like if I were to stand there, I would say the entirety of America is racist, like everyone, everything, the entire government. But I feel like if you look at history, if you look at certain policies, if you look at certain politicians, if you look at certain actions, like, I wouldn't be able to say like everyone is racist.
Okay, so the final line has to be everyone in the country is racist and the government's racist. That's her position. All right. You know what's really interesting is she's saying some people maybe are helping in the system, and not everyone's racist, right? But you probably have a pretty good chance at pointing out that the people that she thinks aren't racist are more racist than the people that she thinks are racist. And also, we're not going to completely ignore the fact that affirmative action is racist, and they're still able to discriminate based on race when it comes to hiring practices. A lot of these companies, Fortune 500 companies, have quotas, and they champion how diverse their companies are. Well, in order to reach these just absurd levels of diversity in these companies, they have to be keeping that person's race in mind for, oh, well, are we checking the box for this diversity quota over here? And are we hiring too many white people over here? So yes, that would be racism. Are these students thinking that this is racism, or that's an example of actual systemic racism that's on the books, that's legal? I know the Supreme Court just struck down. There was a major victory for that on college campuses. Businesses are next. But do these students believe that that's systemic racism? No, they're not talking about racism against white people. That probably doesn't exist to them.
Would you take what she just said and be willing to move to the agree?
No, because I'm taking America as a country, as a government, as an institution, and everyone that lives here lives by patterns that nurture racism and nurture colonial practices that we're still being carrying since then. And it comes from capitalism, it comes from colonialism, like post-colonialism, and still like happening. If you cannot buy from Zara and still say that America is not racist.
Oh my, I don't even know what you're talking about. Give specifics. Colonialism, capitalism, they have all these catchphrases. They're saying so much, but so little all at the same time. Also, fun fact, the only reason why certain countries were able to colonize would be because they had the technological advancements for the time. Humans are violent. There was a genocide in Africa, 30 years ago? Okay? Like an actual genocide. Humans are violent. But throughout history, not everybody's had the capacity and the technological advancements to be traveling to other continents to expand their territory. All right, so far, still just a bunch of generic talking points. Let's see if we can get some specifics.
The laws that are on the books right now.
Well, I'm not from America, but
Oh, where are you from?
I'm Venezuelan.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean, I know the electoral district and all that.
And what do you mean?
I gotta pause it. I'm sorry, you guys. He's from Venezuela. He's from Venezuela. And he's saying that capitalism is evil? I don't even know how you get there, aside from the college education system brainwashing you to that conclusion. You forgot all about Hugo Chavez. You forgot all about socialism destroying the country.
Schools.
No, can you give an example of 3 laws? Oh, we lost one. You had to leave? Okay. Can you give an example of 3 laws currently on the books that are racist?
No, I don't know the U.S. Constitution. No, but yeah.
Okay. Do you think that is sufficient evidence to cause you to not assert the claim so strongly if you can't name 3 laws? Do you think that would be sufficient for you to move to the agree?
No, because I do know that capitalism is I'm not saying that capitalism is well, yeah. I know that capitalism is with what we live in the Western, and at least honestly all over the world, and it implements and keeps nurturing the racist practice. You cannot have capitalism without racism.
What Peter just asked right there was so important, and I've watched him actually do this in person. When he joined me and Billboard Chris for our videos in Portland and at University of Oregon and Portland State University, he would kind of dissect conversations in this way. And watching it in person is actually pretty amazing because he's very careful with his questions. Because, yeah, you're sitting on strongly agree, but you can't give me 3 examples of why America is systemically racist? Now, you could, if you wanted to at this point, you could bring up affirmative action. You could go down that conversation and it would be an ideologically consistent conversation because you would be saying, hey, they're discriminating based on race. This is a form of systemic racism. But these people don't care about that. He's trying to, in his head, he's saying, how are they systemically keeping, let's say, people of color down? That's his only view. And he can't think of that. And he's sitting on strongly agree. Fantastic question from Peter Boghossian right here. Just absolutely perfect.
You cannot have capitalism without inequality, basically. And
Without inequality or without racism?
without
Capitalism cannot function without inequality.
Yeah, that's what I tried to say.
Okay, so do you think that this capitalist system itself is inherently racist?
I think that in order for capitalism to function, there must be inequality. And because America has such a racist history, that inequality becomes racial inequality.
All right, they're not even making sense anymore. What's the most horrifying thing here is you have a Venezuelan that's basically, I guess he just forgot all about what happened with Venezuela. Because he's saying, because it creates unequal outcomes, because the capitalist system creates unequal outcomes, we need to just dismantle this system and rebuild, similar to what the kid was saying in the beginning, right? Completely rebuild it into our own utopia. Because my neighbor makes more money than me, there's something wrong with the system. You guys, future leaders of the country here. This is why it's so important, because just all this stuff's just nonsense. They're just repeating talking points, not giving any specifics. But it's so important to support groups that are on campuses that are like turning point chapters and stuff. These kids have guts for being surrounded by students like this. They have absolute guts. And those are going to be the kids that allow other kids to be brave and stand up against just the absurdity that's poisoning the college education system. Also, if you have kids, don't send them to these schools. It's not going to work out well for you.
Because are you telling me that there's no evidence at all that would move you from strongly agree to agree?
I cannot say that there's nothing in the world that would say that. 'cause
Well,
I'm
just
not- like, I don't know anything in the world.
Right, but just hypothetically, like if a magic man, if a super smart magic man came here and said, well, here's a fact that you didn't know about, and when you heard that fact, it would move to agree, what would that fact be?
I wouldn't know the fact.
Well, what would it look like?
He doesn't know. He doesn't know. The reason why Peter's asking this question is because, okay, you basically just grab onto the primary arguments that would lead you to believe that America is racist, and you reverse them. However, he only really has some talking points and no actual reasons. So he's struggling to flip the reasons and say, okay, well, because XYZ law is here. So if that law wasn't actually there, or somebody proved to me that that law actually doesn't have that effect, then I would change my mind. He doesn't have any specifics like that. Yet, he is standing on strongly agree that America is racist. Peter's trying to get to him.
Like I have done some stuff before, and the stuff that I've done led me to be here. Probably a year ago, I'll be in neutral, but that's
That's
Wow.
interesting. So you've actually moved to strongly agree as a result of your education here at Berkeley.
in my education. Like I don't know, since I'm 21 now. I guess since I've been 18 till 21. Yeah.
What did I say? If you have kids, do not send them to these colleges. Make sure you look into their performance when it comes to, hey, are they radically left or are they kind of normal? Are there normal college campuses in the United States nowadays? There's probably some that I don't know about. There's probably some. If you guys know of any good ones that aren't just filled with Marxist professors, maybe put those down in the comments below to help out with some parents that are potentially going to be sending their kids to university. But that is horrifying. That really shows the power of these colleges, these leftist professors, the damage that they can do to students. You have a kid that's family is from Venezuela, and he's just repeating the same talking points that you would hear from Hugo Chavez in 1999. I don't know, you guys. I mean, I know this is an extreme example at UC Berkeley, but something has to change. Get involved. Do whatever you can to help turn this ship around. Because if these are the kids that are coming out of our college education system in the United States, it's not looking good. Something has to change. Get involved. You guys, unfortunately, I don't know if there's much better news in this video. There's a lot more that I'm not including. Make sure to go check out the full video from Peter. Make sure to go support his work because he obviously just does amazing work. He's incredibly talented at this reverse Q&A series that he has. If you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe for more videos and hit that bell notification button so you're notified next time I post. I'll catch you all in the next video.